The shattered window and bullet holes were what someone had in mind for former Prime Minister Said Musa and his wife Joan Musa, following death threats they had received 1 month ago. Reports are that two youths ran on East Street past the Musa's residence at the corner with Princess Margaret Drive and opened fire, then got into a dark-colored vehicle that was waiting on Princess Margaret Drive for them. The former Prime Minister and his wife had just retired for the night when they heard a chain of shots and peeked outside but saw nothing and thought little of it. It wasn't until he got up and exited the house this morning that Mr. Musa discovered the gravity of the happenings of the night before.
I noticed the main door had a hole in it, and I looked down and I saw a piece of metal, like a slug. And when I examined it more closely, I realized that the door had been shut through. I came outside and I noticed then that the vehicle, my wife's vehicle, the Santa Fe Hyundai, the rear passenger side window had been shattered.
Not wanting to alarm his wife, Mr. Musa, who spoke to reporters inside his yard after police had processed the scene, said that he drove to the Princess Hotel, where he informed two policemen, who advised him to return home and to call 911, which he did. He said that he and his wife had received death threats in December, the motive of which he says was extortion.
There were 4 or 5 calls, at least 2 to BCVI and subsequently some to my law firm at Musa and Balarama's business number. This was like 2 weeks before Christmas. The police were alerted to this, and the police have been investigating that.
Did those threats come, sir, with any reason?
This is it, no reasons, just threats. Tell the man, give us the paper, that's about it.
Which man?
We want him to, well, otherwise we'll kill Musa and his wife.
So it indicates lawyering type activity?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
I'm told that the paper on the street means money.
But while Mr. Musa said someone wanted money, he does not know who that person is. He feels that because the vehicle and the house were shot just moments after they had turned off the lights, someone is monitoring his movements. He confirmed that Prime Minister Dean Barrow has offered police protection and that he has accepted.
Whoever it was must have been studying the movement in the house, because it wasn't until after the lights went out, and it's shortly after that that I heard this burst of gunfire. As a result of what took place last night, police security presence has been offered and I've accepted.
But police protection is not something that the veteran politician and former Prime Minister is accustomed to. And this sobering reality that literally visited his doorstep is one that triggered him to speak of the crime wave in Belize.
Well, I'm very distraught about the whole thing. It saddens me that throughout the time I was the Prime Minister of Belize, as you know, I never cared too much about my own personal security. I had no bodyguards around me. I moved freely around this country. It has reached home to me now. I am being personally threatened, my wife, my family. But it also brings home to me what many Belizeans have been experiencing. This daily threat, this lack of personal safety, personal security. It really calls out for a balanced approach to fighting this crime problem. And you asked me for how I feel about it. I've always felt that the draconian measures do not work.
There is an increasing loss of that sense of personal security, and I think we're all feeling it. And certainly when it comes home to us, as it has this morning with our own very former leader, we obviously have a very deeper understanding of what people go through on a daily basis.
Leader of the opposition, Francis Fonseca, who visited with Mr. Musa this morning, said that in the wake of the incident, the Prime Minister has also offered him police protection. He, unlike Mr. Musa, however, is still contemplating the offer.
Mr. Barrow, the Prime Minister, called me this morning. He was very gracious in saying that he was very concerned about what took place with respect to the former PM, and his government has offered to provide security for the former Prime Minister. He has also made that offer on behalf of the government to me as the leader of the opposition. I have not yet taken up that offer because, as you said, Jules, it's something we're not very comfortable with. I think all of us who are politicians in Belize, we move around freely.
Mr. Fonseca said that his party appeals for a thorough police investigation of the acts of violence against Mr. Musa and his wife, starting with the death threats and now with the attack on his home. Since the incident on Tuesday night at the Musa's home, there has been heightened police presence in the immediate area. Reporting for Love News, I'm Marian Ali.